good quality proteins. Anong ibig sabihin ng good quality proteins? So right now, we will show you kung ano yung kinakain namin. Welcome again to our live. Nag-break lang tayo ng 10 minutes siguro yon. And now we are eating. Nandito na yung order namin. And this one, hindi namin order. It's actually a leftover from last night. Chicken. So chicken is a good quality protein. And then what else do we have? Leftover lechon. The meat, yung laman ng baboy, is actually a good quality protein. What else? Ano pang meron dyan? Ito. Bangus. So, this is inihaw na bangus. This is good quality protein. What else? Oh, eto. Leftover. Kalyos. Kalyos is from beef. No? Kalyos. So, it's good quality proteins. Kalyos. And, ano yan? Fish. I think, parang seafood kebab.
Platter.
Seafood platter na kebab. So, meron ditong isda. It's a white fish. Siguro, Tangige, no? Tuna? Oh, tuna. Nawala na. Kanina, merong shrimp. So, yung shrimp is also a good quality protein. What else is here? Yeah. Ito talaga in order ko. So, this is kinilaw na tangige. So, this is good quality protein. Ano ang ibang source ng protein na sasabihin natin not so good quality? So, yung mga not so good quality protein, hindi ito dahil lang mas gusto kong kumain ng karne o di kaya mas bias ako kasi mas more meat yung kinakain namin. No. Whenever we say good quality and bad quality proteins, it has something to do with their DIAAS or DIAAS. Yun yung digestible, indispensable amino acid score. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Because proteins, yung protina po, is actually composed of amino acids. So yung amino acids, kung isipin nyo, yung protein, isa siyang final Lego block toy. Ano ba yung ginagawa ni Lilo na Lego? Yung pinaka-paborito niyang Lego na output?
Mga robots.
Robots. So for example, ang isang buong robot, isa yung buong protein. But it is composed of individual Legos. Iba't ibang kulay, iba't ibang shape and composition. So yung mga individual Legos na yon, yun yung amino acids. So yung mga proteins, iba-iba din. So merong proteins na galing sa karne ng baka, may proteins na galing sa karne ng baboy, meron din galing sa seafood, meron din galing sa isda, galing sa saan pa ba? And for others, chicken, and then meron ding proteins galing sa nuts, peanuts, almond, soy, beans, lentils. So all of those also contains protein. In fact, kahit nga yung kanin, yung rice, meron din protein yon. Kahit yung mga wheat, meron din silang protein. However, yung kanilang DIAAS score o yung kanilang digestible, indispensable amino acid score is mababa. Ibig sabihin, kahit pa they are of the same amount, like 50 grams of protein ng karne, ng baka o di kaya ng chicken breast, and 50 grams of peanuts, but hindi sila parehong papasok sa inyong katawan. For a person that will eat 50 grams of chicken, for example, will really get about 50 grams of proteins. As compared, yung amino acid na ma-extract niya doon is really somewhat equitable to 50 grams or a little lower. Say for example, 48. Meron niyang values and percentages. Pwede nyo i-check yan sa Google. So you check for the digestible, indigestible amino acid score of each protein para malaman ninyo. As compared to say for example, for peanut or nuts or almonds, kahit pa mahal yung almonds at kahit pa gusto ko yung almonds at gusto kong paniwalaan na mataas yung kanyang DIAAS score and that almonds is a good quality protein, but the truth is almond is a bad quality protein. Baka kasi per gram of whole almonds, yung protein na nandyan, kahit pa medyo mataas, but yung na-absorb na protein dyan is mababa. And that is why it is considered as bad protein. Because hindi natin na-extract yung lahat ng Lego blocks na kailangan natin. And what's interesting when it comes to protein component, if you are eating like pareho lang na proteins, pwede na you will have most of those amino acids, pero you are not getting all of the amino acids. So you can think if pareho lang na proteins yung kinakain mo, sa Lego blocks, puro red, white, and blue ka lang. Kasi yun lang yung paulit-ulit. But you also need yellow blocks or green blocks. And kapag paulit-ulit kong kinakain yung amino acids na yun galing from the same proteins, pwede pa rin na hindi ganon kaganda yung inyong body composition when it comes to proteins. Kasi merong mga certain proteins na kailangan to build our body's needs for that proteins. I think you can make it as an example. So for example, if you make a robot, 'di ba? So yung robot, kakailanganin niya ng red, black, blue. However, yung kanyang shoes, yung kanyang paa is yellow. Pero kung parati kang kumakain, kinukuha mo na Legos are just the red, black, and blue, and red. Pero hindi ka kumakain ng yellow because you don't like, for example, yung certain kind of proteins na mataas sa yellow blocks, makakabuo ka ba ng robot? Actually, hindi ka makakabuo ng robot because that specific robot will need a yellow feet. O di kaya, if that building, kailangan niya ng foundation na black. But if you are eating so many other colors at walang black, pwede kang meron kang second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, but hindi mo yan magagawa without first putting the foundation inside. So that is the importance of getting your proteins in good quality and also in variety. So even if a little while ago, pinag-uusapan namin chicharon and pork, but we are not actually just eating pork all the time. In fact, we mostly eat ruminants now, beef. It's it's a learned taste, no? Because for the longest time, hindi tayo ganon kamahilig sa beef. Konti lang yung beef na gusto natin. Tapa, corned beef, beef steak, at saka karne preta, yung bistek Tagalog. Yun lang yung gusto natin. But now we are already enjoying beef because beef is, now we know na isa siya sa mga pinaka-nutrient dense kind of proteins. And other sources of proteins like fish, seafood, eggs, and chicken, at kung meron kayong kambing, lamb, merong mga lamb, kanina, no? Sheep, lamb. So, meron kanina sa kabilang resort, nag-resort hopping. Tingnan namin kung saan yung somewhat maganda yung paligid and also peaceful at saka malayo. Malayo at hindi masyadong matao. So, that is how you decide for which proteins you will like. Especially if you need more bodybuilding, lean body mass building. Especially sa mga elderlies and mga postmenopausal. Di ba, ang bilis-bilis mong pumayat before? Oh, and then parang nangangayayat. There was a time na parang nangangayayat ka. But now, you feel you're stronger or not? Stronger. Iba yung strength, no? And also, not just me. Kasi nga, ngayon that we are prioritizing our proteins, tumitigas na yung aking arms kahit hindi ako nag-exercise. Because your body will just build muscles. You don't need to be afraid. Instead of being afraid to eat too much protein, you should be afraid of eating too much carbohydrates, too much sugar. Kung ayaw nyo magpasobra-sobra ng proteins, then it's up to you. But what you need to focus on actually is to really lessen your sugar intake, your carbohydrate intake. And for good quality proteins, meat, animal-based proteins is actually of the better quality, of the good quality, including the proteins coming from milk. It's just that yung milk, kapag parati tayo nag-milk, marami din itong lactose. And sometimes it can be too high in fats that you don't need. So, ngayon, ang kailangan is you prioritize your proteins. Para naman sa mga vegans and vegetarians, you can still reach your protein needs. Pero, kailangan yung damihan. Sobrang dami yung kakainin ninyo. Because their DIA score, their amino acid score, is lower. So, like for example, instead of 50 grams of chicken, for you to really get that 50 grams na absorbable amino acid sa katawan mo, baka hindi lang 50 grams na beans yung kakailanganin mo. Baka kailangan mo 100 grams or even 120 grams. So, mas marami yung kakainin mo. So, there is a way. If you are vegan or vegetarian, meron pa ring paraan for you to reach that protein level. And speaking of proteins, Coach Alvin, ano yung experience mo with protein? Before, kasi madali ka nang mabusog, There was a time na madali ka nang mabusog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, ano yung nangyari when that time na madali ka nang mabusog?
I always made sure na yung pinaka the best proteins yung uunahin. Kasi before magtikim-tikim ako ng salad or anything, instead of eating like 100 grams of protein, baka 25 or 30% na lang makakain ko, busog na ako. Parang feeling ko nag-overeating na ako. Although I'm sure naman na hindi pa yun enough, pero I can't help it, nabubusog na ako agad. So what I did is prioritizing proteins.
Pero ano yung nangyayari nung bago mo prioritize yung proteins? Di ba you lost weight? But
I lost weight and I lost muscles. Nangayayat. Pangit tingnan. Para akong may sakit. And hindi lang
not just on physical.
Merong tao nagsabi, oh wow, pumayat ka. Pero siguro may isa, dalawang tao din na may sakit ka ba?
Oh,
and then I realized baka hindi na healthy yung pagka-lose weight ko. So, that time, akala ko okay lang lose weight. Ganun. Pero hindi pala about lose weight. Best is to lose excess fats while maintaining your muscle.
Yeah. What we need to lose is fats, but what we need to gain, kung mag-gain man, kasi yung iba, nag-low carb, and then they lost weight.
Yeah.
And then, natakot sila. And then what they did, kumain sila ng carbs ulit, kasi gusto nilang tumaba. So, what's wrong with that?
Ganun pa rin, bumalik ka lang sa fat building, fat storing.
Yeah.
So, it's not a healthy way of gaining weight. You're gaining fats, not gaining weight. When we say healthy gain of weight, it's lean body mass, it's muscle.
Kailangan yung weight na i-gain is coming from
proteins.
Muscles, proteins. And yeah, proteins yung kakainin for you to build proteins. But hindi yung kakain ka ng carbs para tumaba ka and you expect yourself to build muscles. That's impossible. There's no way for proteins to become there's no way for carbohydrates, for sugar to become proteins.
No.
There's no way. There's no pathway.
Tatlo lang yan eh. It's for if you eat too much carbohydrates, it will become sugar. If you eat fats, it will not become fats. It will become energy. And when you eat proteins, that will become proteins.
Proteins. And what's good about proteins, it's also very flexible. For example, naka-low carb ka, and zero carb ka, hindi ka kumain ng kahit anong gulay. Although we have gulay here, pero kung hindi ka kakain ng gulay, your body will create glucose.
Konti lang guling natin, hindi pa naubos.
Oo, isa lang. Halos hindi pa nakalahati. Tapos na kayong kumain? Ikaw lang kumain? Si Zaira lang kumain. So, what's good about protein actually is it's very flexible. Kung magkakaroon ng panahon that your body will need glucose, pwede siyang gumawa ng kanyang sariling glucose coming from proteins. But your glucose, hindi pwedeng gawing proteins. So, ganun siya ka-importante. And also, kung kailangan mo naman ng ketones, like say for example, you are on a fat burning mode na ketosis, your proteins, some of those amino acids, pwede rin ma-convert into ketones. And I understand. Ano yung mga usual concerns ng mga nagre-reach out sa atin about proteins? Cancer? What else? Cholesterol, fatty liver, uric acid.
Creatinine, too much high creatinine.
Kidney problems. And usually, ano yung sinasabi natin? When it comes to like cancer?
Hindi naman kailangan na mag
Ay, nandiyan na. We are back. We are back. So, speaking about proteins and like first creatinine, yun. If your kidney is already damaged, doon na kayo mo problema. But when your kidneys is actually functioning well, hindi yan problema. And when it comes naman to cancer, proteins are seen to be correlated with cancer formation. Pero, yung bias sa mga research na yon is the fact that yung mga research na yon is also eaten together with carbs.
Yes.
Hindi nila tiningnan. But there's no single research saying na isolated intake na proteins lang alone is bad. So, marami pa tayo pag-uusap ang proteins. Maybe we can dedicate another time for that.
Yeah.
But now, you don't need to be afraid of proteins, especially if it's a good quality proteins. We will see you again in our next video. Maraming salamat for staying with us. Remember to stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye lahat. Bye-bye.
Bye, Lilo.
Bye, Iloilo.